Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media covenant Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vide, a.k.a. Man of the People. I don't know how well you can tell, but I am coming to you live from the suite. I need to figure out what they call this suite. They call this area the Gallery at Bank of America Stadium. And giving you your Thursday update. And we got some good stuff to talk about today. You can go turn all the way up. Volume. I'm sorry, not the volume, the brightness. Talking to the great VJ who has been helping us all season long today with our production. He's been a savior. He's been a savior. Today has been an adventurous day, but before I go into my adventure, let's get this report done, right? Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator all spoke with the media today, as well as Adam Thielen as he got nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. So let's go ahead and get you guys up to date. By the way, got the interview done today. So it was supposed to be Robert Hunt. That's who we were thinking that we were going to talk to today. But we had an audible call at the line, and us being the veterans that we are, I had to say us because I got to include VJ because he helped me get through that interview. We had to change that Robert couldn't do the interview today. So we had 10 minutes to get ready for Damian Lewis. So we talked to Damian Lewis today one-on-one, and that interview will be up by Saturday. Thank him for the short notice and coming in and sitting down, talking with us one-on-one. Hey, we're also trying to reach 12,000 not 12,000. We're also trying to reach 15,000 subscribers. So if you're watching, you find the show interesting and intriguing, help us grow, help us do more covering this Carolina Panthers team. Help get us to 15,000 and hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm looking for some things. I was running a few minutes late, tripped over some stuff. So fortunately, I learned a lesson before going live that you need to have two of everything, because if you're going live and you break something, except for something that costs really a lot of money, you have to. So I'm going to order some more equipment so that things continue to look good for us this Sunday when we're up in Philadelphia. Let's start with baller mode. Have you guys heard the Carolina Panthers talk about the term baller mode? Well, it's something that the offense refers to, and today the offensive coordinator, Brad Idzik, I got to make sure I'm saying my man's name right. He talked just about baller mode and what it is for this Carolina Panthers team and how it got started. So let's check it out.
Yeah, Will Harriger, he claims that we install that play every week at Wednesday. It's the first play. You know, before I get into the room, he says we're going to install baller mode here. That's licensed to go ahead and activate baller mode above the 2.7 time clock whenever you want. So Bryce has done a phenomenal job, and what it does for us, it heightens the importance of putting guys into space, like having spatial awareness, but then also say the ball finds energy. When Bryce is, operating on that, if you want to call it the second play, a burst of energy, right, into space, understanding where other guys are so you can go occupy the open space in the defense, that clicks, and that sets Bryce's eyes to those spots, if that makes sense. So you look at Thielen's route at the end of the game. He's running over the middle of the field. There's a backer dropping underneath it. Bryce steps up, rolls out right, and Thielen bursts to the open space. And we try to incorporate to our guys all the time, like, we're putting you in spots where there's spatial awareness on the field, but that ball will find the energy. So if you burst into that space, that kind of catches the quarterback's eyes when they're scrambling around and dealing with pressure. And then that's when the big plays occur above the 2.7.
All right, so now there's a quiz on baller mode. What is baller mode? In short, it's a little bit of an extended play that they get to run. And he also talked about the ball finding energy. I like that. I hadn't heard that before this season. I've heard it a few times from the Panthers organization saying, hey, guys, continue to be active. Continue to move and get open. The ball finds energy. And but that's baller mode, essentially when the 2.7 clock is extended and you're able to get some bigger plays. You know, one thing about this show, Man of the People, means I don't like to be like, hi, ESPN. I won't say ESPN like I don't like ESPN, but just like to connect with you guys and be interactive. So B Stallion asked me a question. I'm going to go ahead and answer it, which is I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen so you guys can see this. Hey, Chris, you cooking in those pots and pans behind you? If so, what's for dinner? So, again, I'm at Bank of America Stadium in a section that I would never, ever be in if I had to pay for it, called the Gallery. So these are the sections behind the end zone. They only have one section like this here in Charlotte, behind the end zones, where they have these living rooms, TVs, and all this stuff. But nevertheless, I'm going to show you something to go ahead and entertain, and then we're going to continue with the show. So if you can, zoom out. And I'm going to show you what's in these pots. First of all, you'll get a chance to see a little bit more of the room. Zoom out as wide as you can. Big shouts to VJ again for now giving the show a little bit more officialness, because I can have the camera guy help me out with some of the things that I'm talking about. But now you can see more of what this is. This is like a room, huge TV as you see. And right now, there's nothing in the pots, okay? These are not cooking pots. These are warm pots, but this one says it will be all beef grilled hot dogs with brats in that pot, and this one would have classic cheddar mac and cheese, and then there's some buns over there. There's a refrigerator just out of view. Oh, no, you can see the refrigerator. That's locked with all kinds of things. So this is how the other side lives. There's your preview. There's your plug. Call your Panthers sales and ticket representative, and they'll be able to tell you the quote of, I'm sure, at least $5,000. I'm going to guess to be in the gallery. I would really think it's probably closer to $10,000, because you got this area here, and then you got actual seats out there. Nevertheless, I'm the man of the people here to educate on whatever questions you guys have, whether it's about behind the scenes, this team, football one-on-one, whatever it is. Ask me. I'm your boy. I'm your friend. Everybody has a friend in the media, which is myself now. So let's go ahead and continue on with the show. I also got some injury reports that I got to go to as well, so please stay tuned for that injury report. No big secret how big of a challenge the Carolina Panthers have this weekend as they take on one of the NFL's best teams. You know, everybody talks about Detroit Lions and Philadelphia Eagles. And I got to tell you, I got to spill the beans. Our camera operator, big-time assistant, Twitter handle guy, he's a huge Eagles fan. And probably at some point before the weekend's over, I'm going to let him come on and do some kind of rant. But nevertheless, the Eagles are a really good team, and they have an outstanding running back, a guy that he had a career night maybe 2 weeks ago out in L.A., 250-ish kind of yards. And then he also had a play that I would have loved to have seen in person. I wish he could have saved it for us when he hurdled a guy backwards. But Saquon Barkley, he's been phenomenal. Let's not take anything away from Chuba. But Saquon is still like the superstar level. Like Chuba's getting to stardom. Saquon's like superstar. How are we going to stop this team? How are we going to stop Saquon? So Evero talked about, first, how the defense, the run defense, has been improving for this Carolina Panthers team.
Well, you know, the progress is more how we played in the first 2-3 quarters of that game against Tampa Bay. Obviously, we did not finish the game. We wanted the way we wanted to finish the game in the fourth quarter and overtime, and so that's where we got to get better. And you know, Coach Canales talks about it constantly. It's about finishing, and that's got to be our identity as a team, and certainly has to be our identity as a defense. And so we've got to finish better. And as the game extends and it gets tougher, we got to be better, and when our best is required, we got to play at our best, and coach at our best as well. So we all understand that, and yeah, there's been significant progress. We've played 2 good football teams the last 2 weeks. We've played good enough in moments, but we all know that moments don't count. We've got to find a way to get those results, and so that's what we continue to strive for.
So not shying away from it, right? There's been some improvement, but no, he's not going to come out here and hang his hat on and beat his chest like, yeah, we've been getting great. No, we're improving, but we have so much further to go that you're not going to. I commend him for that, taking credit for the improvement, more so talking about we still know that we have a ways to go and we have things to improve, and that's something that they're working on and trying to improve. What about specifically on stopping one Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, you know, it starts up front like we talked about, but then that is, you know, obviously one of the best runners in this league. He's big, he's fast, he's got great change of direction. He can find the openings. He's got home run ability, and so all of those things factor in. and they do a good job of providing space for him. So we know it's going to be a great challenge.
All right. So there was also, if you could tilt it down just a tiny bit or just zoom out a little bit more. But so that's Evero talking about stopping Saquon, how it's going to be like, there's no doubt it's going to be a big challenge, but it's also a big opportunity. And I like the way that he mentioned this a little bit, right? It's still any given Sunday, right? Let's not forget about it. Like, yes, they got some things going for them, but we have to have the mindset that we have an opportunity to win. And you, as a coach, no matter what level you are, if you're coaching some of these guys, you got to find something that gives you, that person, that player, reason to believe. And we do all know, yes, any given Sunday things can happen. So some of that any given Sunday juice will need to be on the side of the Carolina Panthers as they prepare to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. So what about the tandem that they have at wide receiver, stopping those two guys? Well, we have a little bit of a secret weapon called J.C. Horn, who, knock on wood, has been not only healthy this year, but he's played exceptionally well, certainly playing as one of the top corners in the league. Will he pick one guy? Will he rotate around? Well, Evero said there's a method to how he selects whether JC's going to follow that guy around or whether he's not. He didn't want to reveal that because he doesn't want to help other teams figure out, what he feels is a pretty good way that he goes about doing that. But says, they're prepared. They're prepared for taking on the Eagles, prepared in the sense like they know what they can do and they have a scheme in place for that. And, we're just going to have to see how it all plays out this Sunday. So that's your update. Now, I do want to say this. We did have our nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. So in summary, that award goes to the player that has done the most, I won't say the most, but has done a very commendable amount of community service for their team and in their community. Extremely unsurprisingly to me this year, because I've noticed it as well since he's been here, Adam Thielen has done a lot in this community. Actually, other players are starting to do more as well. It was probably, I want to say like a month ago, that I posted a tweet about the fact that the good old days are gone with the Carolina Panthers. And, when they were winning, it really seemed like it was every player in that locker room doing something within the community. I had posted a picture of Thomas Davis when he had one of his golf events, and it seemed like half the team was out there anytime Thomas Davis did something. He was also always doing something really, really big. But Adam Thielen has been a guy that, to me, my observation, is doing quite a bit. It seems like I'm getting information almost every other week about something that Adam is doing. So congratulations to Adam on getting that nomination. He hasn't won it yet, so next step is voting for him to win that award. But Adam Thielen today talked about what the nomination means for him.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough, blessed enough to be nominated my last year in Minnesota. And what I realized was at first I was like, man, I didn't really want the recognition, all that. That's not why we do what we do. But then you start to realize the support and kind of the backing that you get from that nomination. People just really kind of diving into the foundation, what we're trying to accomplish, and really just helping youth reach their full potential, which is our mission statement with our foundation. So again, with that being said, means a ton to my family, to the kids that it's going out to support, and then obviously to this community that means a lot to me. Now being here for a couple of years and back in Minnesota means a lot to those kids, the youth that we're helping impact.
So Adam Thielen talking about the award, and all these guys that get nominated for this, they're really, you can tell they're really good people, all of them. Whether they win it or not. And Adam there goes to quickly deflect, well, it's not me. It's not just my award. There's a team of people, and there's my family that's involved. And he talked about the impact that it has for him as well as his organization, helps bring more attention to the organization, which helps him continue to do more. So shouts out to Adam Thielen for all the community work that he does. Shouts out to Adam Thielen for the player that he has been to this Carolina Panthers team. I think it's great that he's still here. That he could have asked for a trade because he knows he doesn't have a whole lot of years. He said that before, like, I don't have, I'm at the tail end of my career. So he wants to be in good situations. And for him to not have requested a trade to stay here and continue to play it out, I think is admirable and certainly a good thing for the fans and for the developing young talent that we have, because we do have a lot, Jatavian Sanders, Jalen Coker, and Xavier Legette, that could learn from Adam Thielen and how he goes about his work and introducing, I was going to say introducing himself to players, but Brad Idzik talked about when he first got the job, Adam Thielen called him first and invited him out to dinner to get to know his coach and to have that relationship. So it's little things like that that makes players go from being just okay to being better. And it's good that he's around so these young guys can see how he carries himself and how they need to continue to carry themselves to build their career. Thanks for the hearts. There's a link in the description. Guys, we are still close to our GoFundMe goal. If you're able to contribute, please just check out the link in the description. We'd love to have your help and continue to help us get some more equipment to do these broadcasts. So let's go back to the injury report, because I never went over it, but we need to talk about it. It's part of the headline and the title, right? The Carolina Panthers injury report as of December 5th. So here we go. Let's look at this report from today. So you have Jadeveon Clowney, who did not practice today. And let's pause right here and talk a little bit about Jadeveon Clowney. So I had mentioned previously that, man, I could tell this guy, he's getting older and he needs recovery time, because I forget the exact comment, but he said, man, I couldn't have played the week after Germany. If we had had the game that Sunday, your boy wouldn't have been playing. And I thought that was kind of revealing and very transparent to him. And it was more like, okay, I guess the toll of going across to Germany, playing the game, and coming back, his body's just like, yeah, I need a break. So, that's what happens when you get older guys. You don't know how much gas they have in the tank. But Jadeveon Clowney did not practice the other day, did not practice today. Well, will he play on Sunday? Again, I think I'm going to request to talk. I don't know. I got one more interview that I'm going to do before the end of the season, maybe two. I would love to talk to Jadeveon, because to me, he's like a very raw, he's going to tell you what he's thinking kind of guy. And I think I would love to just be able to talk with him about things. Nevertheless, on whether or not he'll play this Sunday with his knee injuries, he says, well, we'll see when the time comes. We're a few days out. Okay. And then he was asked, well, how did it happen? Pay close attention to his response. Just playing a long time. That's all. In other words, like, I ain't 25, man. It wasn't nothing. It just happens once I'm, doing the rigors of the NFL a lot. So, Jadeveon, certainly hope that you get better. Hopefully that you can play, but just wanted to give that context out there to how he's dealing with his injuries and the likelihood of him playing this Sunday. You also got cornerback Caleb Farley, who was limited in practice today with a shoulder. You have Josie Jewell, who a little bit of, I won't say alarming, but of notice here. Josie earlier in the week was limited in practice, but today he did not practice. So that's technically a little bit of a setback, going from limited in practice to did not practice. And it wasn't due to rest. So trying to get Josie healthy for the game this Sunday. You have Jatavian Sanders, who still is limited in practice. Coach earlier in the week, now we didn't get a chance to talk to Coach today, but early in the week, Coach did mention that he feels good about Jatavian playing this Sunday, as well as he feels good about Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker, you can see here, he went from being a full participant in practice to being limited in practice. So somewhat of a setback, but I think for him, and, honestly, I could say this for Josie Jewell as well. So let me walk that back a little bit with Josie. One thing about this team is that they try to, I feel like it's noticeable in how much they try to give players time to recover, time to rest, and try to be more cautious with guys instead of just forcing the envelope and pushing the envelope. Dave Canales has said several times that he likes to play guys not on the pitch count when he has them out there on a Sunday. So that could be part of it. DJ Wonnum, he was limited in practice today. And then, not surprisingly, very routinely, a little bit different from the vibes of Jadeveon Clowney, is that Taylor Moton got his rest day. So Taylor Moton today did not practice due to getting some rest. That's your report today. I'm going to go through a few of these questions before we get out of here. Chris, on a serious note, how is tight end Sanders? I know he is practicing on a limited basis, but after his injury, is he okay? I read Coker's full practice. We need all the help we can get. So, B Stallion, hopefully that injury report that I just read to you and the dialogue around that does get you up to date on that. What's going on, Antonio McClanahan? Do what Antonio says, and we'll all be great friends. Like, subscribe, and share the stream, please. It's greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach 15,000 viewers or subscribers, so please consider subscribing. And for life, yeah, I'd love to hear from Clowney also. Anyone who is honest is always a great listen. Yeah, he's a very honest guy. So, and then question here about Pinheiro interview. So, yeah, I try to give you guys as much information as possible. I don't like holding it to the very end because, I don't know, I like to let you guys know what content's coming. So the Eddie Pinheiro was, we actually went to, I guess, technically 3 guys for this week. Eddie Pinheiro was the first guy. Then that wasn't able to go through. And then Robert Hunt was supposed to be the guy, and he was literally a last-minute scratch. And then we got Damian Lewis. So there's always, to educate you guys on how this works, there's always a little bit of moving parts behind the scenes, right? So guys that aren't playing or have some injuries, they typically don't sit down for one-on-one interviews. They can decide to do so on their own, but me doing these interviews here at the stadium, typically guys that aren't healthy, you don't see them, right? So that's how that works there. Hopefully that sheds some light on some things. But today's interview, Damian Lewis, will be up this Saturday. Next interview, I haven't put out the list yet for the requests. So if you guys have suggestions, as always, I'm all here for it. Just leave it in the comments. I may be able to get 2 more, but definitely 1 more interview, sit down one-on-one with that player here is what I'm going to do. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Unc, what do you mean? Go ahead and zoom all the way out for me if you don't mind, so I can continue to show you guys that I am here at the stadium. This is not my living room. So you see the blue lights, which is nice, little look. I don't have that. That's Carolina Panthers stuff, and they got the TV screen up there loaded for the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to see real quick before I get off of here what Unc's question was, statement is. I give you about 10 more seconds. But otherwise, tomorrow, I'm actually going to Philly early. So tomorrow's broadcast will be from, who knows, my hotel room, someplace. But I will definitely continue to keep you all up to date. Saturday, I normally do a day before show on Saturday. Won't be doing that this Saturday. And then we'll be live in Philly, 11 a.m. on the field of Lincoln Financial Field. By the way, we could be on the field, on the grass, no, on the turf, but don't step on the grass. We're going to get in trouble if we step on the grass. That's just letting everybody know. All right, so Unc didn't give me a chance to understand what he was saying. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you all very much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, like as well. Chris Jenkins reporting live from Bank of America Stadium for Charlotte Vibe.